So there's certain information that people just had to have that isn't put into context when we're told so. You know, which is why this is to me. Page 4. The 700 years during which the Moors dominated the Iberian Peninsula was an era in which many Europeans came into North Africa in states of servitude. How many of you knew that?
Say that again.
The 700 years during which the Moors dominated the Iberian Peninsula was an era in which many Europeans came into North Africa in states of servitude. The Muslims brought millions of European slaves over to the, that's a typo, North African ports of Saleh, Tangier, Algiers, Tunis, Fez, and Marrakesh in some northern Egyptian towns.
So
And
no,
here's some paintings of those. Yeah. Page 10. Rice was introduced into Europe by the Moors in the 10th century. Cotton by the 9th. A Moorish botanist, Ibn Bassal, partitioned the land into 10 different classes according to particular characteristics and taught the farmers ways of increasing the fertility of their plots. Also, there's, if you look up the Emirates of Sicily, you'll see Moors brought in oranges, apples, tomatoes into Italy. And all the fancy food that the Italians are known for, guess who they got it from? Dark-skinned African people. The tomato was even called the Moorish apple. Look it up. And what are Italians known for? Their secret sauce, which is made out of what? Tomatoes. They called it Moorish apples. Look it up, Google it right now. So here's some pictures, some paintings. Again, most of these are by Germans and from the 8th century, depicting Moors. Right? You see dark-skinned people, dark brown, different shades of brown. You see lighter shades, darker shades, because we've always had this. When you look up melanin, you'll see this eumelanin and I think pheomelanin. That's what it's called. And it basically is from your shade to darker than you. That's melanin. Melanin just has that spectrum. So just because there were lighter Moors doesn't mean there were darker Moors. Just because there were darker skinned Moors doesn't mean there were lighter Moors. Right. As I'm pretty sure you know if you've been to Cuba, Cubans come in all shades and colors, just like my wife is from Barranquilla, Colombia. Colombians come in all shades and colors.
I forgot to tell you. My grandmother's father is from Havana, Cuba.
Wow.
And it never like interests me to even study it.
There was a poet that Fidel Castro loved, and one of his quotes was Simón Moros. Huh? Seamos Moros. I don't speak Spanish. Which means let us be Moors.
Really?
Yeah, it was in reference to the Moorish revolt against Spain.
We are
And how
Moors.
Fidel, well, not just Fidel, that poet, I forgot his name. There's a lot of South American revolutionary leaders, if you don't know, that were nationalists in nature and against colonization. Anyway, page 11, bottom left. The Moors also dug canals and channels to irrigate the farmland and provide water for the thousands of houses and mosques and palaces and public baths. A lot of Arabic words have entered general usage as a result of the Moorish invasion of Europe, which was not an invasion, it was a liberation, such as bay, cities, coffee, sugar, rice, cotton, lemon, syrup, soda, alcohol, alkali, cipher, algebra, arsenal, admiral, alclave, and magazine. All of these are Arabic words plus more. And if you know Spanish, they say around 8% of Spanish is from Arabic. There's a little bit more, but they don't want it. Page 14. A new monumentous, excuse the typos, leap forward in the theoretical and applied sciences evidenced itself in Moorish mathematics, medicine, astronomy, navigation, and new concepts of world geography and philosophy. The popularity of Moorish scholarship was such that for centuries, Arabic was commonly accepted as the language of scholars from Europe, Asia, and Africa. For centuries. So you know how today, like most plant names, most anatomy parts, it's all Latin. Today. Back then, it was Arabic. In fact, there's a video by Neil deGrasse Tyson I think he estimates over 80% of the stars have Arabic names. Over 80%. Why? Because these people. The mirror was invented by dark skin Africans. They're in the desert. What a mirror is made of? Polished sand. Melted polished sand. Show me a desert in Europe. Exactly, they didn't create it. This is from a separate article, not from the book. This is from Bing.com, search Oxford University. The founders of Oxford University were inspired to form the institutions after visiting universities in Spain. According to the United Nations education body, the oldest university operating in the world today is University of, I don't know how to pronounce that, in Morocco, founded during the height of the Moorish Empire in 859 AD by a woman. Named Fatima. Page 57. The golden age of the Umayyad dynasty in Spain came during the 10th century under the reigns of Abdul al-Rahman III and Hakim II. At the pinnacle of the Umayyad dynasty, the great city of Cordoba possessed 200,000 residents, 600 mosques, 900 public baths that were patronized by all social classes. Girls as well as boys went to school, and numerous Moorish women became prominent in the literary and artistic fields. Other Moorish women were involved in education, law, medicine, and library sciences. Now, if you don't know, it is part of Muslim culture that men cannot be doctors to women. So when the woman had to give birth, guess who their doctor? Which means those women had to be what? Educated. Page 68, 200,000 homes, 800 public schools, and many colleges and universities. There were also 900 public baths, besides a large number of private ones, at a time when the rest of Europe considered bathing as extremely sinful and to be avoided as much as possible. Moorish women were doctors and lawyers and professors. Jewish scholars studied under the Moors and then went to England and set up a scientific school at what later became to be Oxford University. Now, most of these images look like, oh, the black woman is a slave washing her white masters. To the contrary, our African sisters, we're teaching our European sisters, this is how you bathe,